Was Vatira's move to Karmine Corp this summer the right move? Is Vitality finally back to winning ways? And should Harry Maguire become an RLCS coach? My name is Anton and you're watching This Week on Rocket League. This is of course the series where we take a look at all the crazy and stupid things that this game has had to offer during the past 7 days, and somehow this game never fails to surprise me.
He's going upfield.
But now let's check out what's been happening this week. Dutch Rocket League legend and 2-time world champion Violent Panda announced his retirement from professional play last Thursday on Twitter, saying that he's now looking for coaching and managing positions on the scene. One of the all-time greats for sure. It's sad he had to endure through an injury in his thumbs over the last few years of his career, but I hope all the best for his career moving onward. Moving on to the RLCS regionals that wrapped up last Sunday. In Europe, everything went as usual as I swear Europe makes no sense. Somehow, after winning the last regional, Oxygen failed to qualify for the playoffs after losing to Tundra, Moist and Team Vitality, who themselves made it to the playoffs with a 3-1 record. How do you fail to qualify for the first regional and then beat two of the top teams in Europe? My guess is that as soon as the opponents saw their decals, they started vomiting uncontrollably and couldn't play anymore. Meanwhile, their former players Fair Peak and K-Dop went 0-3 and were immediately dropped out of the tournament. So as you know, last time we did not do too well. This time we cannot let Oxygen win again, because Archie called Ligue 1 a farmers league. Any ideas what we could improve on? We could play more aggressive and use more late demolition. We could use late vitality decals and make the opponents sick.
I could slide tackle and take their knees out.
Harry Maguire, what are you doing here? I don't play for Semper anymore.
Yeah, I just kind of follow you around.
Alright, so I think...
You know, I'm actually a centre-back on the Man United bench.
I know.
And you guys sit when you play your rocking league.
Harry, it's Rocket.
So I could teach you a thing or two about defense.
Please don't. G1 and Team Liquid fell short after both taking losses in the 5th round this time. Augiri, on the other hand, reverse swept the Swiss stage, so to say, as they managed to qualify even after going down 0-2 in the first 2 rounds. BDS went 3-0 again in the Swiss stage after the heartbreaking loss in the quarterfinals last regional. Meanwhile, Quadrant continued their impressive form as they topped the table after losing only 2 games. Moist managed to make a turnaround after getting surprised by Vitality in the 1st round and won their next 3 matches, beating Karmine Corp and Vatira in the 4th round to knock them down to the 5th round elimination match. Karmine Corp though managed to just make it to the playoffs as they beat Team Liquid in Game 5 however, which brings us to the playoffs. Moist began the quarterfinals by absolutely trashing Augiri 4-1, after which BDS were once again knocked out of the tournament in the quarterfinals, this time by Karmine Corp. Vitality continued their run as they whooped Evil Geniuses with a 4-0 sweep. No thanks to Rizzo though.
Drives in front to try to get someone jumping. Whoa! Ball over halfway in.
Vitality's winning, bro. You don't lose a series when you save it like that. Sorry, I hate to say it.
Oh, and a double commit on the other side. This time Ivan's gonna have a completely open net. Evil Geniuses spot a double commit.
And in the last match of the day, Quadrant made their 2nd semifinals in a row as they also swept Tundra Esports. Moving on to the semifinals, Team Vitality's run came to an end after suffering a Game 7 overtime loss to Quadrant. I mean, this was one of the craziest runs we've seen in a while, because let's be honest, most people didn't expect them to even qualify for the regional. They went from being 3-1 by a team called BS Plus Competition to contending for fall major qualification in less than a month. If Rizzo stops watching their games, this could be the greatest comeback of all time. In the other semifinal, Vatira faced his old team once again as Karmine Corp faced Moist. After beating them 3-1 in the Swiss stage, Moist were eager to show that Vatira had made a grave mistake and they lost. After this, Karmine Corp went on to beat Quadrant 4-2 in the finals, making them the first European team to qualify for the fall major. Now, after 2 European regionals, I think it would be an interesting conversation to have whether Vatira's decision to move to Karmine Corp was the right one. Of course, he had his own personal reasons for leaving Moist in the summer, but looking at KC's performance this season, they are looking very similar to Moist last season. Of course, we have to see how they perform at the major, since the Moist team did place 2nd and 1st in the 2 majors they qualified for last season, and the ultimate goal for Vatira is to win the World Championship after all, as they couldn't do that this summer, but right now it looks like Vatira can at least replicate similar results with his new team. As always, I would like to hear what you guys think in the comments below. But moving on to the Oceania Fall Cup, where Power started their comeback after getting upset in the quarterfinals of the last regional. Both Pioneers and Power went 3-0 to top the table in the Swiss stage, from where the pair then proceeded to whoop their opponents in the quarterfinals to move on to the semifinals, where placeholders once again went 1-0 up in the series against Pioneers, after which they once again lost 4 games in a row and were eliminated from the tournament. It's like they do it on purpose. Power then beat Ground Zero in the other semi-final after this incredible team goal in game 1.
Extra element, taking nothing away from Express, just offensively. I mean, Fever has that different style that can often...
no.
Oh no, not that. No. Oh no! Oh no! Oh Yummy, what's happened here? Can we revisit?
And yet, somehow, after that incredible performance, they managed to win the regional championship in the finals. Over in South America, the club had one of the craziest runs in South American RLCS as they won the championship without dropping a single game, clinching a spot at the fall major in the process. I guess we know who's moving to North America next season. Over in Sub-Saharan Africa, Maycontain Nuts suffered their first loss of the season as they lost to Reformed in the Swiss stage. And then they destroyed everyone in the playoffs. And now let's look at the regionals happening this weekend. First up, we have North America, where these are the teams that qualified for the NA Fall Invitational. Genji have of course already qualified for the major, and FaZe and version 1 are sitting quite comfortably in top 5. Meanwhile, there's a huge race for the remaining spots for the rest of the teams in the top 10. In Middle East and North Africa, these are the teams competing in the Fall Invitational. They have only one qualification spot for the Fall Major, so the race will be between Falcons and Rule 1. Rule 1 have to make it either further than Falcons in the playoffs, or win the whole thing to qualify at this point. And lastly, we have Asia Pacific, where these teams will get clapped by James Cheese, who is also going to qualify for the Fall Major. But now it's time for Clip of the Week, sponsored by RL Exchange. Each week you guys submit your clips to the AntonTheKicker Discord. The top 5 are then voted on by the members, and thanks to today's sponsor RL Exchange, the price is 2,000 credits. So if you want to submit your own clips or influence who makes the top 5 for one of these videos, you can do so on my Discord server, link in the description. But before we reveal the top 5, let's look at some honorable mentions. BurningGoldfish scored this ground pinch into the top left corner in a 1v1 match. Nutti scored this no bounce psycho in training. Illustra Diogo scored this astral pinch in a rumble match. Rocket then scored this Coxer pinch in a hoops match. Scooby scored this cross map ground pinch psycho in a 1v1 match. Placera's teammate scored probably the greatest own goal I've ever seen. And before we reveal the top 5, Watermelon hit this incredible double save in a diamond lobby. I don't know which is better, the fact that you saved 2 of your team's shots, or that the other one was yours. But now it's time to reveal the top 5. Like mentioned before, these were voted by the Discord members. Latency hit this pancake flip reset in a 1v1 match. War Machine 100 hit this squishy setup musty double while searching for a match. Zexal tied the game up with 0 seconds left with this cross map bot goal in the Halloween mode. Washed Kageyama hit this crazy goal line save in a C3 rank match. And last but not least, floppyloveschip hit this perfectly calculated corner redirect in a 2v2. And that's the top 5. As always, there will be a YouTube poll on the channel, and thanks to today's sponsor RL Exchange, the price is 2,000 credits. RL Exchange is a great place to get cheap Rocket League items with fast delivery, with 95% of items delivered within 24 hours. They have a great reputation with a 4.9 rating on Trustpilot with over 7,200 excellent reviews. And if you don't want to spend your money, they have daily giveaways and a section where you can complete tests to get free items as well. But if you do end up spending money, you can use the code Anton at checkout to get a 3% discount on your order. It's a great way to save money, and doing it would really help out the channel as well. And that's it for this week's episode. Hope you enjoyed it. And it's November now, so it's no shave November. I'm not gonna shave this for the whole month. I mean, there isn't much. And it's also no nut November, so you guys cannot nut this month. No nutting this month. What am I doing? You already know what's going on. We're gonna look at countries and the cities in this segment. I'm great at explaining things. So first we have a comment from YouTube member Melster, and he wants us to do Ohio because it's his favorite country. I've lived in Michigan, so we're not gonna do Ohio, we're doing Michigan. Sorry, mate. Currently I have 26.2k subscribers, and in Michigan we would be between Inkster and Allendale. We'll do Ohio as well. Don't worry. And in Ohio I'd be about the same as Marysville. And then we have a second comment from Owen Perry, who wants us to do Eswatini. And if you don't know where that is, it's right here next to South Africa. And in Eswatini, I would be the 3rd biggest city, bigger than Big Bend. Big Bend. I would love to live in Big Bend. Let's go to Big Bend, because why not? I do see the bend, so very, very good name for the place. Describes it well. I guess there's like a fire going on. But that's it for this week's episode. Hope you enjoyed it. As always, become a member. Follow me on Twitter and on Instagram. I'll see you guys later. Bye.